The brotherhood, many who post content on YouTube, have basically already defined the Percy Miller, Corey Miller situation, C murder, before this recent development. Now, if you all know, it's been reported that Kim Kardashian West and Monica are working to get C murder released from prison. Now, the brother of C murder, Corey Miller, Percy Miller, posted something that, is going back and forth, and some people aren't liking what he's saying. But once again, in the brotherhood on YouTube, the quote unquote, well, at least one component of it, the so-called quote unquote manosphere, although I myself and many other brothers do not identify with those individuals, we've already diagnosed this situation. Now, assuming if what Percy Miller says is true, I don't know the details, I don't know the facts, okay? But assuming what he says is true, if you've listened to his response to all of this situation and C murder referring to Kim Kardashian and Monica as angels, but not conveying the same type of gratitude towards family members who've been working on this for years now, all brother Percy is saying, according to his side of the story, is that you don't give respect to the family, but you give respect to outsiders. Now, when you look at this situation, Kim Kardashian West, obviously an attractive woman, Monica, a fairly attractive woman also. So what we've been saying in the brotherhood with a lot of these dudes, especially the Pookie Ray Ray type, and C murder certainly fits the bill of a Pookie Ray Ray type to me, is that these dudes will not believe anything unless a beautiful woman or an attractive woman says it. Unless a female says it, unless you have a certain type of genitalia between your legs, they're not going to believe it unless they come from them, okay? And that's the simp, the true beta, mama mindset, the baby boy mindset of, I'm not going to believe it, I'm not going to put any credence into it unless a female says it, particularly a beautiful female, that I can be involved with who's not a family member, okay? So that's all this situation is, plain and simple. If the account of one Percy Miller is true, that's his side of the story. But if what he's saying is true about C murder, not showing gratitude, being ungrateful towards his actually family members, but then being so appreciative when outsiders, beautiful women in this case, take up the cause, that's all this situation is. So what I would say to Mr. Percy Miller, if he's already not familiar with this situation that we discuss in the brotherhood, sorry, bro. Doesn't matter that you're wealthy and successful. Doesn't matter that you're his biological blood brother. You just got the wrong genitalia. That's the problem, And I guess the other women in your family, they're family members, so they don't count. And for those who don't know, now if you listen to the podcast, you can't see the image, but for those who don't know, Percy Miller has been trying to get his brother out for years, even requesting former president at the time was president Barack Hussein Obama to pardon his brother and certain other aspects of the label dealing with these criminal matters. So his brother Percy has been working on this. The family has been working on this. Maybe people within the record label and within the companies have been working on this. But now you see two outsiders, and as Percy was saying, he didn't even know that C Murder even had a social media account. So Percy is saying he's done with ungrateful people, including family members. What I would say to Percy Miller, and if anyone could get this to him, he needs to check out what the SYSBM brothers have been talking about and what the Productive brothers on YouTube and other social media platforms have been talking about. We don't deal with ungrateful people like this either. We don't deal with Pookies and Ray Rays like this either, even if it's your own family members that you have to cut off. This is, as Eugene Robinson wrote his book about a decade ago, this is the splintering of the black community, even along family lines. Okay. And C Murder is certainly in a position where he can have wealth and he can have good fortune and be very prosperous on an industrial level. But if you continue to make the bad choices and not handle or treat people the right way, if you burn bridges, you're going to find yourself in a bad position. So we're going to leave those people behind, and productive black people, particularly productive black men, SYSBM productive black men, the brotherhood, the patriarchy, we will deal with like-minded individuals, those that are on our level, and people who are not on our level. We're not going to associate with them because ultimately they're going to bring us down, and we can't afford to take these losses with everything that's taking place right now and with what may happen moving forward in the future. So if that's what the situation is, I would commend Mr. Percy Miller for looking out for himself, looking out for his more immediate family, looking out for his children, because he has a number of children, looking out for his business affairs, and looking out for people that are loyal and people who are grateful and people that are appreciative. And you got to look out for yourself. You got to look out for those that are the closest to you, like-minded individuals, those that are really in your corner. You got to look after the fellow productive people that you're associated with. And you can't let anyone, including blood family members, bring you down and hold you back. Freedom of movement, freedom of choice, freedom of options. Okay? I'll leave a link to the YouTube channel. Please check out the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. The content that we have. SYSBM brothers. And until the next time, I'll see you later.